one. So we got this report the other day, and I really wanted to talk about it, but then we got all the Kyrie stuff and things like that. So I thought now would be a good time to address the Lakers and Hornets potential deal. The Lakers' interest in Charlotte's Terry Rozier as a potential headliner in a Russell Westbrook trade is not new, wrote NBA insider Mark Stein. You'll recall that this Substack has been writing since April about LA's fondness for the former Boston Celtic in a potential Westbrook-centric trade discussion with Charlotte. The deterrent for the Lakers since the idea of dealing Westbrook to the Hornets emerged as a concept months ago has been concerns stem from the prospect of also absorbing Gordon Hayward's contract, which has one guaranteed season left on it after this one at $31.5 million. Hayward was limited by injuries to just 93 games in his first 2 seasons as a Hornet. So the Lakers, again, nothing new in regards to the Lakers-Hornets deal. This is something that's been around for months. It looks like it may be the best deal. That and the Spurs seem to be the ones that many people go to because you could get a Terry Rozier, proven scorer, great 3-point shooter. You get a Kelly Oubre, 3-and-D style guy, and you could get, a Gordon Hayward or preferably like a PJ Washington, something like that. And now you have like your shooting solved, you have your wing depth solved, like you just become a much more complete team. You got more like NBA starter level guys. And the issue is Gordon Hayward, which is the biggest concern. And this is something that I've even relayed. I think Gordon Hayward would be a perfect fit for the Lakers. A guy that is just a Swiss Army knife, can do everything. He can shoot, he can pass, he can score, he can defend. He can go get you 20 if you need him to, but he's not so selfish and self-centered to where he has to go get 20. He would be a perfect complement next to LeBron, AD. You get these guys. I mean, you could now, especially if you were to trade and move off of Russ, you could have, LeBron, Hayward, Kelly Oubre, Anthony Davis, and, a Patrick Beverly or a Walker or whatever. And now you have essentially, 3-and-D level guys, Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Like that's a much better, more all-around team than you have right now. And you can run your offense through Gordon Hayward. You can run your offense through LeBron James, even Anthony Davis in some cases. It makes you deeper and it makes you just an overall better team. But Gordon Hayward, playing 40 games a season and just his injury history and everything, it's a tough risk because it ruins your cap flexibility for the future. It hinders, potential movements. If it doesn't work, you're stuck. If he can't play, you're stuck. And on top of that, they want draft picks and they want to give a draft pick. It's not worth it. And now I think the conversation changes entirely because Russell Westbrook has been willing to come off the bench and has been very effective, and it sort of embraced it since that change, 3 games ago. And we're going to see how that looks in the next couple games. I'm sure the Lakers will give it a couple sample sizes. So now you don't have that urgency and that need to just get a deal done, right? Because the Lakers are on a 2-game win streak at the time of this video. They play Utah twice, they play the Cavs, and then they play the Clippers. Like if you beat the Clippers or the Cavs, now you're 6-5. Or 5-6, you're in a good spot, right? And now you don't have that pressure of we got to move off, where if it didn't work out and say Russ went to the bench and it's not working and now you're 0-7 and it's like, all right, we can't wait 20 games. If the Lakers are, say whatever, they're 10-9 through 19 games, then you don't have to panic, right? Yeah, you're not going to be able to be 500 the entire way, but with such a bad start, you were 0-5 to start, you could kind of alleviate some pressure, because now that means that you were 15-5 in the other, 15 games, or the other 20 games. Like that's a big difference, right? And now you're not just a 500 team. Ever since that improvement, it's changed. And then it becomes less of a need to want to take on a Gordon Hayward and a Terry Rozier. Not just that, but look, as great as Hayward, Rozier, and Kelly Oubre would be, the fact that you're absorbing that much salary, you're basically wiping off the Hornets books entirely. Now that that's the case, there should be no picks equated to that. There should be nothing involved in that. Maybe like a couple seconds just to feel like you won, but like to give up first round picks for that, you're taking so much long-term salary. You're taking on so much risk in a Gordon Hayward deal. Like if you didn't have to do any picks and you could just do Westbrook for, a Hayward, or, say a Westbrook and Kendrick Nunn for Hayward, Oubre, and Rozier, I would do that 10 times out of 10 because you would only have to deal with Gordon Hayward one more year. Kelly Oubre falls off the books. You get a proven scorer and Terry Rozier. You get a Swiss Army knife and Gordon Hayward. If it doesn't work out, you have your picks to move off of some of these guys, right? So I think you could kind of get away with it. Or you could even try to flip and change, Gordon Hayward into something. Like one of these tanky teams, they might take Gordon Hayward's salary for 2 first-round picks, and maybe you get some other players, right? Like it's not something that's unfathomable. But I think the Lakers have that don't have that need and that we have to do a trade because we're starting to win some games. Russell Westbrook comes off the bench, looks like it was a positive and a great move. And if it continues to be that way and we continue to win games, then it becomes less and less likely unless you just find the right deal. And it's do you really want to trade Russell Westbrook for long-term salary, right? Because you could do say Russ is thriving and great, right? Now the Hornets deal doesn't really make any sense. Why not take, a Patrick Beverley, once Dennis Schroeder comes back, and if Dennis Schroeder's playing great, take a Patrick Beverley and a Kendrick Nunn and go get a Josh Richardson and Jakob Poeltl, right? That becomes such a better deal than the Hornets deal. You probably only have to give up 1 first, and you get to keep Russell Westbrook. He gets to come off the bench. You just got a center, so Anthony Davis can now shift to the 4. You go and get a 3-and-D guy, so now you have a more natural starting shooting guard if you want it. I just think that's a much better deal, and you still keep all your flexibility, right? And if it works and it's great, let's say you go on a deep playoff run. Let's say you lose. Say you lose in the second round, but it was a tough 7. Just the game 7 just didn't go your way. Well, now you're okay, well, why don't we have Anthony? We have all this salary space. We have Anthony Davis, LeBron James. We got all these guys. Let's bring Russ back on a $12 million a year deal. Let's give him 4 years, $12 million if he's willing to come off the bench and buy in because we just saw it worked, right? That's a great salary. I mean, that's like what Jordan Clarkson's making, 12, 13 million. Okay, let's give him that. He can come off the bench, something like that. We can re-sign, Jakob Poeltl. He's only making $9 million a year. Let's sign him to see if maybe he'll take $8 million for 4 years and we get some longevity. Okay, cool. Josh Richardson is only making $11, $12 million. Maybe you could re-sign Josh Richardson, and then you still have money to go get Walker and whoever else you need to bring back, Reeves, guys like that. And you can maybe go get another run at it. And now you have a full training camp. You have a full season, all that stuff. It just, there becomes better options if Russell Westbrook continues to thrive and play good and we continue to win games. The Hornets deal was a press in case, break glass in case of emergency deal. Well, now it doesn't seem like we're in as much of an emergency. And now the Kyrie situation comes up. So it's you're almost better off getting Kyrie Irving if you're going to trade Russell Westbrook, because Kyrie Irving, he's just such a game changer and impact guy. It's just this deal doesn't make as much sense as it once did. I'd still like to see the Lakers go after Terry Rozier. If the Lakers could trade Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn for Terry Rozier, I would be all for it. I know some people feel otherwise. I know some people really like Patrick Beverley. We're a top 3 defense with or without Patrick Beverley, but we're still a bottom 3 or 3 to 5 offense. And we need a proven scorer. We need a guy. That's why a guy like Kyrie Irving would be perfect, because we're already a top 5 defense. Kyrie Irving comes in. He's good enough to make us, maybe not a top 10 offense, but good enough. To where now we have the defense, we have the scoring threat, we have a closer, we have a go-to guy, a guy that can get you 30 a night. Now you got 3 guys that can give you 30 a night. Now there's not as much pressure on LeBron and Davis. Now whatever other production you get from a Walker, guys like that, it just amplifies so much. And that's kind of why I kind of want Terry Rozier, because if you get Terry Rozier and he can consistently night in and night out give you 15 to 20 a night, which I don't think is unfathomable. He's averaging just under 24 points a game, but you got to imagine he's going to end up being the third option on the Lakers. So his average is probably going to go down. So let's say it goes down 8 points. That would put him at, 15, 16 points a game. All right, cool. Like if he can give us that night in and night out consistently now, and Walker can give us 50, now we're probably a better offensive team. And if guys start knocking down shots, now we're really good. Now maybe we could squeeze into the top 10, to 12 offense. That's my only thinking. But anyway, as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. This is a discussion, so let me know down in the comment section below. Again, I wanted to make this was a more fitting video a couple days ago, but then we just got all the Kyrie news and everything, and I just kind of wanted to shift to that a little bit. But what do you think of this information? What do you think of the details? Would you do Gordon Hayward? Would you take on Gordon Hayward if you didn't have to give up any draft picks? Do you think no? Do you think wait? Do you think patience is a virtue? However you feel, good, bad, ugly, let me know down in the comment section below.